What up, everyone? We are just hours away from what will probably be the most watched hockey game in history, maybe even surpassing the U.S. 1980 Olympics game against Finland. A lot of people think they beat Russia for the gold medal game, but they actually beat Finland, I believe. So tonight's game is going to be wild. It's in Boston. So we get the home ice advantage, which for you non-hockey fans means we get the last line change, which will be key. It's going to be an awesome game. That Boston crowd, Boston, maybe outside of Philly, has the most obnoxious fan base. But, that's the great thing about these international tournaments is we're all one tonight. If I could have gotten a ticket, I would have been right there with those obnoxious Bruin fans. And it's going to be wild because Brad Marchand, who's like a legend for the Boston Bruins, is the enemy tonight. So he's even going to get booed. So I see this game, on paper, you've got to go. Canada has the best group of roster players in terms of forwards and defense, slightly better than the U.S. team in terms of individual skill. However, I do think the U.S. has the better goaltender. Connor Hellebuyck is about to win his second straight Vezina trophy. So I see this game being very tight, very physical early, and then that'll settle down. I think the first 10 minutes are going to look like Rock'em Sock'em robots. I don't think we'll see 3 fights again, but we might see 1 fight. A lot depends on, in terms of the final outcome, the condition of the Tkachuk brothers, who both are hurt, Austin Matthews, who's hurt, and, Trocheck, I think, had a hand issue. They've had so many injuries on the U.S. roster that I think last night the U.S. team was allowed to call in Tage Thompson from Buffalo and Pesce from the New Jersey Devils. Now, they can't even practice with the team unless one of those 4 injured players is deemed that they can't play. So as of right now, it's about 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. No announcements have been made, to my knowledge. But be that as it may, I predict the United States hockey team, and it's very tough to beat a team twice in a short form tournament. I predict they will win 4-3 in overtime. I just think Hellebuyck will be the difference tonight. And, this really is a 50-50 game. Just like the game, was it last Saturday was. The rosters are pretty equal. Now, when I say Canada has the best roster, it's not like the U.S. has a bad roster. It's so good that forwards like Tage Thompson and Cole Caulfield weren't considered for the team. And the goaltending is so deep that, someone like Jonathan Quick, even though he's older, wasn't even considered for the team. The goaltenders for the U.S. are Hellebuyck, Ottinger, and Jeremy Swayman. So it's going to be a great game. This tournament's been very good for hockey. But the problem is, long-term, is that these are the 4 best rosters in the world. And you have to include Russia. Because if you look at the roster that Russia would have thrown together, wow. Ovechkin, Kucherov, Panarin, Gavrikov on defense, Vasilevsky in goal. That's a roster that's almost as deep as Canada's top to bottom. So you can't really expect this type of play next week when Columbus plays San Jose. It's just not sustainable. So the league has to find a way to not necessarily match the play of this tournament, but they've got to find a way to make the regular season games mean more. Like I used to, when I was a kid, I would stop everything I was doing if the Rangers and the Islanders were playing. It was like hockey in the octagon. If the Kings were playing the Calgary Flames or the Edmonton Oilers, it was war. And now most games look like a bag skate. So the league has momentum. Whoever wins this tournament, win or lose, and I'm assuming it's going to be a great game tonight. What do you do with it tomorrow morning? Earl Skakel, over and out.